I'm Matt Bronger. This might help.
I am not a doctor.
This might help.
I'm not a professional.
Let's have fun. This honestly is a good time.
Honestly, I got no idea what I'm doing. What's going on? Who are you?
I'm Matt Bronger. This might help. The podcast.
Hey, welcome to This Might Help with Matt Bronger, the only advice podcast that has ever mattered or ever will. Thanks again for all the nice comments. Thanks for listening. Thanks especially to people having the guts to call and just, share their problems and understand this is not clinical. If you need professional help, please get it. I see a therapist twice a month. It helps. But like, if you need real help, this is not the spot. This is not Dr. Drew or whatever. This is mostly for fun, but it's been helping people. And anyway, let's keep it moving. This week I have a comedian who I've been a fan of for a while now. Even though we're on different coasts. Please welcome Monroe Martin. How are you, Monroe?
Hey man, what's going on, Matt? Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No, I mean I'm always that person who I kind of collect people's styles in my head.
Yeah.
Like I like watching people going, oh, okay, I like how this person does this or this or this.
Yeah.
You've always struck me though. You're a young man. You're like what, early 30s?
Yeah, 34 now.
34.
Yeah.
Okay. So I think I've known of you since probably like 8 years now or something.
Oh wow.
I think that's about correct. But like you always struck me as someone who has the poise and the presence of an older man, which I always enjoy. Like I feel like I will
neglected.
be. That's
That's because I was neglected and I was left around old people. I don't know if that's wisdom. I think that's just me being in foster care.
See, there you go. I mean, I love when I just throw out my impression of someone that I don't like. You and I we've met. We've
Yes,
done
absolutely.
shows,
Yeah.
But we haven't hung out a lot, mostly because
Yeah.
you're still in New York, yeah.
Yeah, I'm still in New York. I'm still in Ground Zero right now.
That's right on. That's when I feel like this is the silver lining of the pandemic, is you can do podcasts and check in with you, like, hey, how are you? Are you doing okay?
Yeah.
But yeah, like I always kind of liked your poise, and anytime comedians are like, oh, if you have any advice, I mean, I always tell them like, just talk to the audience like they're your friends, and you're like you're chilling. I always felt like you had that. You always had that, where it's kind of just like, look, I'm just going to lay this out for you. You might like it, you might not, but I'm going to be okay.
Yeah.
like,
No, that was advice given from a comic named B Flat. She's she's not a Philly comic, but she like has roots in Philly. And when I was like a younger comic, that was one of the benchmarks was like getting on her show at Helium and stuff like that. And I remember doing the guest spot, and she seemed to be nervous, and she was like, hey, talk to them like you would talk to your friends. You need to talk to the audience the same way you would bring up something to your friends. Bring that up to the audience because they're your temporary friends. And I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. So that kind of like lifted a weight off my back, because we all want to perform, but there's different ways to perform. I feel like there's different styles of it.
Yeah, and I feel like just like if you're an actor and someone's like, all right, do you want to play this person that's nuanced and different, and you really connect with them, or do you want to play this guy who who's on a commercial in a duck suit screaming about this antacid or something like that? Like you're gonna like, oh, I'm gonna take the first. But with comedy, you have that choice. You don't have to go up and do that same old. You guys been watching the news. Dating's crazy. All that stuff. Though I don't ever try to put rules on it. And people who try to drive me insane. I feel like comedians, anytime we read an article about comedy, the author will more often than not be like, we all know comedy is blah blah blah, and you're like, you're dead wrong. You don't.
Like,
you're
they
not
don't know comedy the way we think everybody knows comedy. Yeah, those are the people who are like kind of good at that one style. So now they're like, nah, this is what it should be. And it's like, that's what you practiced.
Yeah, and that's your favorite. That's your favorite.
Yeah.
I always think of, and this is an extreme example, but I always think of my friend was talking to these guys, military guys, and was like, can you even watch action movies? And they're kind of like, not really. like as soon as I see an actor and I see the way he holds a gun, I'm like, I'm done, man. Like you
Yeah.
didn't even you didn't even pick it up right. Where I feel like anytime we read an article, and not to say the people that aren't, there are journalists that cover it pretty well, but like anytime it's in a major publication, there's always something that just like, you're making assumptions that you would never make about like a doctor or even an actor or even,
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right.
But that's back to your style. That's why I think I've enjoyed. I'm never that person that's just like, oh, if it's different than mine, it's like my favorite. I feel like I'm a little more frenetic than you are. I'm a little, like I really like how you kind of just laid it all out. Like you mentioned you're in foster care growing up. I make a point of not doing any Wikipedia shit. But at the same time, not going like,
do I even have a Wikipedia? Like I don't know if anybody would waste their time to write about me.
Come on, of course they would. Dude, your credits are solid. Even just looking at your Twitter bio, like you've been on a lot of stuff. You've been grinding a long time.
Absolutely.
So like you started out in foster care. I don't want to do the whole
no, that's fine.
Origin story, but
I grew up in foster care. I probably entered foster care maybe around the age of like 5, 6, something like that. Just because mom is on drugs, dad was in and out of prison, and then like other family members have their own stuff going on. So I was in foster care and I aged out at like 21. So I was like in foster care from like 5, 6 to the age of 21. And then I started doing comedy around 21, 22.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, talk about perspective. Like
that's why I like comedy because it's weird, but it's very similar to foster care. Like it is because it's like, one, the traveling. Like I was never in the same home for like more than a year.
Wow. Oh man.
So I went around, go different places. So the traveling gives you the ability to make friends like on the fly or just over and over and over again. So I'm used to like that traveling and being around like new people and being in that environment and then being out of that environment and not even really missing it. Like it taught me not to miss shit. It was just fucked up. I don't know if it's a fucked up thing that I won't miss anything. I'm like, whatever.
I mean, I think that's the ultimate era of adjustment. I'm in my mid 40s and I still will tell myself like, don't get your bullshit nostalgia about this, that, or the other, because we always look back with rosy colored glasses, or very dark colored glasses. We're just like, that was so fucked up or that was so great. And we're always wrong. Yeah. So like, I think you learning not to miss stuff it's so funny. I mean, I think that's good in the end. I
always thought it was fucked up because I'm like, because all my friends is like, man, remember this or remember that. And I'm like, I'm here now. So
that struck me when Seinfeld had Eddie Murphy on and he was like, this is the best time. He's like, that's how I've always looked at things. And I was like, oh, that's so like that's how I want to be. You mentioned learning to make friends real fast. I always thought that I had an edge on that growing up because I'm an only child. Okay. And so, I was born in Chicago, grew up in Portland, 2 different neighborhoods, and then went to college in New York and then moved to Chicago and then LA. So I've always kind of had that skill set, mostly to stop me from getting my ass kicked, like to kind of like, make people laugh and be like, no, I'm cool, that kind of stuff. But like, I mean, being a foster child in a different home every single year, that's beyond.
Dude, I was like you know how Netflix and like NBC uses the same characters for different shows? Like that's what I feel like. I felt like I had like a development contract with foster care. It was like, you're gonna make a couple appearances in these homes.
Dude, that's fair. I do a weekly happy hour show with Kyle Kinane, who I started out with.
I know Kyle.
You know Kyle. So it's just to check in with each other and check in on people and make fun of them and make sure they're doing okay and shit. So we've had a running joke about because I was in a house in Providence my family and I drove 3,000 miles a couple weeks ago with our
Wow.
newborn to see the
Oh, good
in-laws
shit.
because kind of like fuck it, you know, life's either
Yeah.
a great adventure or nothing. California was on fire,
Yeah.
so we got the hell out. But long story long, we rented a house in Providence for a week, and we're like, I'm like, I'm sure this is haunted. This thing is from the
Yeah.
1800s. It's so old, and so. You know, Kyle and I were this running joke about like what ghosts think of an Airbnb. They're like,
Yeah.
the new owner? The fuck? How fast do they sell this house? And so, but Kyle's joke has been like, they just can do the same bits. You know,
Yeah.
they got the same owner for 20 years. It's like, you got to keep coming up with new scary shit. It is a ghost. But
yeah,
like
they just go out there with their checklist. They're like, all right. So did I say boo yet? Boo?
Did I tear my own face off in the middle of the night?
Yeah. Did I like do the light flickery thing? I did that already. God damn it! All right.
I did that. It doesn't scare me anymore. But you always struck me as a remarkably well-adjusted human being, and I feel like not that the foster system. My dad for a long time in his retirement did the thing where he would check on kids in foster homes.
Yeah.
And you know, more often than not, he's like, yeah, things are okay. You know, it never struck him or me as a situation where it's like everyone's great, everyone's doing, you know, really. It's kind of just like a little, you know. Even
it all depends on the experience. It all depends on where you are, where you're placed. I was based in PA, so I lived all around Philly. I was in group homes and all that stuff all around PA. Certain places would be great, certain places would fucking suck. But I think I'm glad it comes off as like even keel or whatever. Like on the outside, I'm like, inside, I'm like, ah,
sure,
right?
sure. Of course.
But yeah, no, I feel like now the group home thing is all based on the experience or like the location. I've had some dope places, I've had some crappy places, but it kind of prepares you for life. Because I've always sat here and I was like I would say the one thing I had to learn not to regret was like the whole parents thing, like growing up, no parents and shit like that. Like I still know my mom and we're cool and stuff like that. And I still talk to my sister. But for a while, like I did have some weird energy towards that. But then I had to be like, well, what lessons would I would have learned with parents, right? Because that's what your parents do. They're supposed to teach you right from wrong or teach you things about life. But I'm like, all right, the life lesson they taught me is like what not to do, what road not to go down. So it's like there's already tapes. There's no need to put tape and be like, don't do that. I'm like, I've seen from this outcome to not do certain shit. And then throughout the system, I got to learn about people and stuff like that. And I got to talk to different people and you gather different information and then you can make informed decisions and stuff. So that's why like I don't get hung up on like a lot of things that piss people off. Like it's weird to say this, but like racism doesn't piss me off as much as it should, just because I know it's just a coping mechanism. Most people don't know why they hate people. There's like, you gonna hate somebody for the color of their skin. Like I'm in group homes with white, black kids, Asians, Hispanics. We can't hate each other based on the color of skin because we all got the same shit in common. We're here. All of our lives were fucked up. So I was like, all right, so what else you got, homie? So with racism, I started to see that too. I'm like, are you mad at me for something else? Like racial shit. Yeah. So
amazing. Because that's a fantastic point. If you have this very cloistered child who's in the house all the time, and you have a neighbor who's looking at him wrong, and they're like, they hate me because of my skin. Like, there's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah,
this just hurts, you know. And there's no kind of redemption to this. There's no Disney ending. With you, it's everyone kind of has to work things out. And to your point of having parents that weren't there as a lesson of what not to be. I can't tell you the amount of people I've known. I'm older than you who are extremely successful and I'm not saying your parents were, but absolutely terrible parents because they were, you know, the amount of guys and women I know who have never even tried alcohol because their parents were drunks or you know, or drugs or things like that. Because it's a brutal lesson, but it is, you know, it's that lesson a lot of us take. I feel like we're all connected in a lot of ways, but we're all alone ultimately.
Absolutely.
And you have to in your soul accept that, and you have to be okay with that. There's a reason why, at the end of A Streetcar Named Desire, this character says, I've always depended on the kindness of strangers. And it's the most pathetic thing anyone could ever say in their lives.
Yeah.
And it's just heartbreakingly awful because it just indicates how fragile this person is. And when I was a kid, I'd hear that and think it was kind of like, oh, this poor person, that's so flowery and so kind of poetic. And I had a theater teacher scream at me. He was like, you know how fucked up that is? You can't live your life like, it was cool to take theater in New York. But like, I feel like you have this happy attitude, I think, generally speaking.
That's a choice. That's a choice. I made that choice at like 16 years old. And I talk to my wife about it all the time because I'm 6'5", I'm a black dude, I'm 6'5". I don't have the luxury to be angry. I don't, because it gets like, you're a tall dude too. You're just as tall as me. If not, like you already like 6'3". But yes, because I stood next to you. So you're tall, but if you get angry, it's exaggerated, right? Because you may be a little angry, but the moment you talk to somebody who's like smaller stature than you, now they're like, oh, like they feel a little bit defensive, right?
Right.
I don't know if it's the same with you, but like if I like talk a little loud, and if I'm like, yo, whoa, what's up? What's going on? I'm sorry, why are you so angry? I was like, I'm not angry. I can't raise my voice.
Yeah.
I can't get louder without being angry.
It's true. I've always felt, because I'm kind of seen as this, happy, get along, go along to get along guy, that because I've gone to therapy for a bit of an anger problem for a short fuse. And people that know me my whole life be like, oh, you don't struck me as an angry guy. But when I do get angry, it's just people go like, whoa. But you, because you are a friendly guy and a go along to get along guy, but also black and enormous like I am, absolutely, people are going to get triggered off of that. And that's, it's a sad thing where like, I have to keep that in mind for me because it gets people scared. You have to keep that in mind because it could be dangerous to your health and the people around you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, like my wife likes to try to sick me on people. Because my wife is, and I'm like, yo, do you understand the situation you put yourself in? I'm like, I'm basically a pit bull, yo.
Yeah.
I was like, the moment your pit bull snaps, it got to get put down. I'm like, you want me to get put down? Because my wife is short fused. My wife is little. My wife was like 5 foot even. She's a little Colombian lady. So she's always angry. But the thing is, no one cares because she's little. And when you're angry, it's like, But then the moment she's like, babe, she tries to round me up. You gonna let him cut me off in traffic like that? Yeah. Get out and fight him. Get out and fight him. Why?
Oh, no.
What?
You can't do that.
But that's the wife I have. And I'm like, and like she gets angry at me because, like, let's say if somebody like cuts us off at like Target and she's ready to like, excuse me. And I'm like, excuse me. Yeah, we were here first. And she's like, why didn't you soft? I'm like, how am I soft? I was like, if I talk to him the way you talk to him,
you're
smart. Like, hey, yo, excuse me.
Yeah.
Now it's a whole production. And I'm like, I don't like productions.
I mean, you can solve situations so much faster by just even if you're like, I want to kill this guy, you just approach him politely. And it's like people go, like you see their shoulders relax.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, I mean, it goes back to childhood.
Yep.
You know, if you just talk to if you cut like a bully off and be like, like, all right, Martin, what's going on with you, man?
Yeah.
I've noticed, all that. And I'm like, oh, fucking buh.
Yeah.
You know what else happened? And all of a sudden you're not an enemy. That's true. That's true. Everybody has a chip on their shoulder, but it's so funny that my mom, when we'd be on vacation, she would have a couple glasses of wine. She'd go beat him up. And I'm like, are you out of your fucking mind, Mom?
Like, what? But that's because we're big and tall and all that shit. So
no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
all that means is 4 guys are going to jump on us.
Exactly.
There's no fairness in life.
Exactly.
It's just, I remember being in Chicago at parties and like my friend gets arguing with this other guy, and, you know, their crew, you know, is looking at all of us and stuff. And then we squash it. And then two guys are like, dude, I was going to hit you with a pool cue first thing. Like, to me, because I'm the biggest. It's like, God damn it. You know, it's like, I wish you hadn't have shared that. Because now I don't want to be around you because you're a psycho, you know, and they're like laughing.
Yeah.
It's fucking.
Now you know that you got to step up. You know you got a mean streak to you, but now you know you got to dip into that other side. You're like, fuck.
Yeah.
You make me dig into the abyss of myself.
How dare you?
How dare you? You was gonna hit me with a pool cue?
I didn't need to know that. That's not funny. You know. And always a white guy. Always.
Yeah.
Always. Never.
I mean,
never.
well, y'all have the best bar fights. Look at the movies. When the last time you seen a black movie with a dope bar fight? Dude, nah, y'all got the best bar fights.
Ian Edwards had the best bit about that, where he's like, he watched two white guys get an argument, and one white guy threw the other guy over a table. Yeah. And the white guy got up and was like, hey, man, what's wrong with you? And Ian was like, dude, he talked about how his self-esteem was so low. He's like, if you did that to me, I have to murder you. Like, I have to run you over with my car. I cannot let this go unpunished.
Yo, yeah, that is funny. Like, y'all do ask questions after the fact. You get smacked. Hey, bro, you want to go? I guess that was what that was. That was the initiation.
What was that all about? Yeah. Just shake it off.
Yep.
Position in society is more than secure. You know, not worried about losing any status. Yeah. But so, Monroe, let me ask you. Everybody on this show, I ask them this question: Do you get people that ask you for advice, and have you traditionally, like, in your life?
Yeah, and I give it if I'm like, yo, I think I can help, then I give the advice. If I don't, I'm just like, I don't know. But like, I feel like the best thing you can do is give advice. It's free, and plus, I believe in paying it forward. Like, if you give me some knowledge and information that helps me, I'm not supposed to hold on to it. I'm supposed to use it, and then when the next person comes along with similar problem, I can pass that along.
Yeah. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Yeah. I do that with comedy. I do that with comedy the most, when like comics talk to me and I'm like, well, here's what I've experienced. Here's what I've gone through. You can apply it. Here's the information that was given to me. So I like giving advice.
Yeah, no,
but don't hold me accountable. That's why I'm like I gave you the advice. If I can apply it
but you don't strike me as like a Cliff Clavin, like someone who's just like just running off at the mouth and just being like, you know, like look, here's what you need to do. Because I've had friends who, you know, God bless them, but they'd be like, they would give you advice.
Yeah.
On what it is to be a guy named Monroe who came out of the foster system and what he should do as a comic. And you're like, man, I should write that book. You don't even know me. You know, like people think, you know, outside looking in, they see it better than the person that has experienced it. And it's kind of, you know, like,
absolutely.
I enjoy doing this show because it, you know, I have no pretense of authority other than, you know, like this show used to be called Advice from a Dipshit because it was, I would give a lot of my advice based on my life mistakes, based on these turns I took that, you looking back, I wouldn't change a thing because everything's great now. I got a great wife, I got a great kid, and you know, I'm above water. But like, you know, there's things that I have so many things I look back on and just go, ugh, you know, I still find myself when I'm alone washing dishes, I'll think of something and just go, I'm sorry. And they're not even here. You know, like it just kind of comes out. So, but it's fun. And also, I don't know if I told you, I don't know what's on the docket for you and me.
Okay.
We'll listen to about 3 calls. I have no idea what they are. Rene culls through them and picks ones, you know, so sometimes they're serious, sometimes they're nuts. Last week we had a woman point blank was like, I'm thinking about just going into Canada illegally. What's the best area? What east or west? What has the weakest border? And I was like laughing, but my guest, who was a food writer, was like, I would say, like, she knew the checkpoint to go near but not through. It was hilarious.
Oh, wow.
because she goes up there to Ontario to ski, and there's this one place you drive through, and she's like, it's like one guy.
Damn.
Like, you know, you just never know. You never know what expertise people are gonna have. So.
Oh wow, I don't like. I'm not a coyote because that's the groups that help people, right?
Exactly.
Coyotes.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
I've gone fully legal every time.
Yeah. I'd have been like Delta.
That's my favorite.
That's how you do it. Yeah, Delta, and just never leave and hope they don't find you.
Just don't go home, you know? Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like it's different for us. Like we can just go there and just not leave.
With all the problems, I think you'd be, as long as you weren't like trying to get a government job, you'd probably be fine. I'm just guessing, you know?
Be like a fry cook or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, do Uber. You could probably Uber.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. You could tell Uber, hey, I'm illegal.
Yeah.
And they'd be like, cool.
No.
Fine. I don't
They'd be
care.
like, cool, man. Can you drive?
Can you drive? You're gonna risk COVID to drive people around? You're in. You got it. You got a job.
Absolutely. Okay. Let's do this.
So you ready for the first call?
All
right, let's do it. Roll it, Rene.
Hey, Matt, it's Brendan in Savannah calling back. You let me know that air fryers are bullshit. I think I knew that already. Got a dilly of a pickle, Matt. I run a local satire page in Savannah called SavannahCityOf.com. It's not a plug. I'm just explaining. And this local free paper, The Connect, they do this thing every year where they vote. They have people vote for best of Savannah, best restaurants, best bars, what have you. Best local website was one of them. Well, this silly website of mine, this parody website, won this year. But because the newspaper, get this, you ready? Because the newspaper recently changed publishers, they mistook it for the city of Savannah, gave them the award, which they accepted. And then when I called them out on it, and the newspaper changed it because it was my award, the city still has my award. They're ghosting me. I've been texting. I've been DMing their account. I emailed the city manager today, Matt.
Whoa.
Does the city of Savannah now own my award? What happened? I know it's 2020, but this is mine. It says it on the website now and everything. It's mine. How do you handle this? All right, thanks, buddy. All right, bye.
Dude, thanks for calling. Just to let you know, Monroe, he called in when I had Farley Elliott, who writes for Eater, who's a food author, and the guy was like, "What's up with air fryers? Are they bullshit?" Thanks. That was it. And so Farley was like, "I mean, pretty much. You know, how often you're going to use it, that kind of stuff."
I fucks with air fryer. I have an air fryer that I use all the time.
Great.
I love that thing. I air fry shit that I'm not supposed to.
I love it. I'm glad you're on here and he's on here. So that's perfect. But yeah, you know, Farley was like, I could kind of take it or leave it. I mean, I wouldn't say that the caller said he said it was bullshit. I wouldn't say he said that necessarily bull. And I just said, look, I don't know. I don't have one, but I've suggested, my wife was like, fuck it, let's get an air fryer. It's a, you know, more healthy way to fry. I'm about that.
Absolutely.
But shit, man, first of all, I will say Savannah is a, you know, historically a shady fucking city.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I had never been, but I'm like, dude, that award. The
stuff I've learned about North Carolina, holy shit. I mean, like Raleigh, god damn, like I love playing that town, but that's one of those places where they had a you know, a black Wall Street, a black street, you know, like where everything was, and they just killed him and like ran him out of town. It's like, Jesus. That's neither here nor there, but that's just like the first place my mind went, where I kind of, you know, because, you know, I've played everywhere and I'll be like, this is a cool town. I'll find out something like, oh shit.
Like, here's our dark history. You're like, god damn it.
They moved stones. They didn't move the bodies. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like visiting the friend or whatever, and when you're younger, and then finding their parents' sex tape. You're like, God damn it! I thought y'all was like a wholesome house. Y'all up here got sex swings and dildos laying around.
You used to kill runaways for kicks. Why, guys? But that's the thing. I'll throw it to you, but I will say that the other
Mhm.
thing I thought of was I remember my 2 apartments ago of the place I live now. I lived by myself before I moved in with my then girlfriend, now wife, and they painted. They were like, oh, we're gonna paint your apartment, but they were gonna paint it like after or paint the outside of the building after I moved in. I was like, okay. Not my apartment, outside the building. And I was like, cool. And I come home and they painted it, but my welcome mat, and I had a nice one, just gone.
Oh,
And
they
so
stole your welcome mat?
Yeah, I think they took it to move it for paint, and someone saw that paint on it and just threw it in the fucking trash.
Oh.
And that was my thing. So like I wrote that realty company like, hey, can I get my can you look, it cost me $50. Can you just send me $50?
Yeah.
And I finally wrote, look, I'm just gonna take that $50 off my rent.
Yeah.
They wrote me back one line, not hello, just not dear sir, nothing. Just no, you can't do that. That's all they wrote me.
Wow.
And that response, I was like, I want to firebomb the building, like on a Sunday when no one's there, and just spray paint, welcome mat on the sidewalk. So and be like, when they're like, was that you? Be like, I don't know what you're talking about, but you don't have to worry about it anymore. Like it made me so fucking angry. It's the fact that they're ghosting him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Like take it. What would you say this gentleman should do?
I don't know. Like, if you're like, that's different, right? Your situation was different because you could deny them something. You can fuck up something for them, like their money, by you not paying them $50. They're like, no, you can't do that. So you got their attention. But with him, like, what is he going to say? I'm not paying taxes. I'm not paying. You know what I mean?
True. He's like, powerless.
He's kind of powerless in this situation where it's like, you just kind of got to know you got an award, right? And like the best thing about social media is screenshot that shit and then put it on your Instagram. It's the same, and you'll get the same amount of like applause, like, hey, but you don't get that feeling of having it in your house. And then you get to pass it every day. And you get to talk to yourself like, yeah, I did that. My work matters. You know what I mean? Because that's why we want awards physically, so we can look at them like, yeah, bitch, I did that.
It's a milestone. Yeah, exactly. Yes. And I think the fact that this guy does have his satirical site was big enough to win his paper or whatever. So
absolutely,
I think he's got a voice. Like, dude, I would tell you to write full page, front page, like something like, hey, I'm fucking salty. And then write the whole thing down and make it as petty as humanly possible. And then from then on, run fake articles. It's satire. So when like let's just like spitball, the mayor is like, he put aside, let's say, $10 million for a new youth center. Right. Mayor denies youth center $10 million, says, fuck these kids, something like that. And so they're like, hey, stop.
Yeah.
Take every real thing and flip it.
I actually,
opposite,
I actually like that. That's like super petty. I didn't even know you had that level of pettiness in you. God damn it. That's like genius level petty. I'm like, dude, that's so fucking good.
I don't know if it grew up this petty, but being a stand-up for 20 years, like the amount of shorts you take, the amount of bullshit you go through for your dreams or whatever you have, it's just like they kind of just lay seeds in you that bloom, that you're like, it doesn't rule you, but you're like, you would not I don't act on it, but I just kind of get such a kick out of it when someone does something that that petty.
You meditate on it though. You like, I can't wait to
Oh yeah. I love
like the burning in a building and now this shit. I'm like, okay.
I
like, all right.
I love the story of how Jordan Peele said when Mad TV wouldn't let him join Saturday Night Live in his last year of Mad TV, they're like, no, you got a year left. And it's SNL's like, next year was like, because you get that one shot. And how he quit and just sat at home smoking weed, just planning like a supervillain. And like, look at him now. Now he's like this king, not only a lord of media, but a lord of media he loves. You know what I mean? He wasn't that stand-up that was like, I'll write a show for Nickelodeon. Now I only write shit for kids, and every night I get drunk and put a gun in my mouth. Like like he's a horror fan, so he's built his whole thing. So it's just I got such a kick out because I remember seeing him after Mad TV at a party, and he was stoned as shit. I was just like, yeah, you weren't just high, you were scheming. You were scheming, Jordan. I love that.
Yeah, he was plotting. He's like, I got you.
Like,
oh no, that's the best way to get back too. Now he killed it.
And I wonder if that's if that can kind of fuel you, like just maybe like your stew is your ambition and your wish to do good by the world, and you just a pinch of petty, like just a dash.
You have to be petty though. You have to like that's what your creativity is for.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? Like some people can code and build games and invent, and some people just have pettiness. You know what I mean? Like I used to be a petty Patrick. I'm not as petty as I used to, but I was fucking petty, and I love it too. I can't wait. I was because with pettiness, you got to be patient.
Yeah,
you got to just wait for that right moment to strike. You know what I mean?
There's nothing scarier. I would rather get like punched.
I remember. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh no! I think there's a little delay or whatever, like a lag or something.
Oh, I thought you said I remember.
Well, I remember. Oh yeah, no, I'm saying because I was gonna tell a quick story, but now I'm like, am I incriminating myself?
Okay.
So fuck it, I don't care. So I remember one of my foster homes that this lady, like, I don't know, she was just being like an asshole for some reason, right? Like she's like just a complete asshole. She used to lock me out of the house. Like it was so weird. Like she used to like lock me out of the house. Like I'll come home, I would get cause she, like you got curfew and shit, and I always came like right before curfew. And I remember like her locking me out of the house one time, and it was like 9 o'clock, and I'm sitting on the back step. I'm sitting on the back because she didn't answer the front door. I don't get it. I don't know why. She was like she didn't never answer the front door, so you had to walk around back and knock on the back door. And like she would not answer the door for some reason. She was being petty. So I went around front, and I know she don't like people ringing the bell because it's like one of those church bells. You know what I'm talking about? The church like bong 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 bong
bong bong. So loud.
Fuck it, I'm gonna go around there and I'm gonna press it. Yeah, that's it. So I was like 9 at night. I go around so angry because I keep knocking on the back door. She ain't answering shit. So I'll just go around the back and I press it. And I press the button so hard that it kind of gets stuck. And then you can just hear Doug, 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 Doug. And it did it like for like 3 minutes. And you just see all the lights come on in the house. And like she opens the door like, what the fuck is wrong with you? How dare you be so disrespectful and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, but it got me in the house, though. I'm in the fucking house, baby.
See, if you would have just been like, well,
I don't care. Now I can't care because I'm like,
let me take the high road. Yep. Fuck it.
It is what it is. Nah, fuck that. Blang,
blang, blang. That's perfect. That's perfect. So call number 1. Be petty. Yeah. All right. Oh my God, you guys. The best, most apt sponsor just arrived. BetterHelp.com is our new sponsor on This Might Help. And I laugh because I'm relieved. As I always say, This Might Help is for entertainment purposes only. It might help. If you have real problems, like a dude like myself, go to a professional therapist. And a lot of you are like, how do I find one? Go to BetterHelp.com. That's BetterHelp, BetterHelp.com. And if you go to BetterHelp.com/MattB, you get 10% off your first month. What do you get? You get matched with a professional licensed therapist. There is financial aid available. They can help you with your depression, your stress, your anxiety, your anger problems, your family conflicts, just anything. I cannot recommend actual therapy enough, and this is how you get it, guys. Go to BetterHelp.com/MattB. Trust me, try it. Roll the next call.
Be fucking petty, man.
Hey, Bronger. It's your Twitter friend, Miranda. First off, I really just wanted to say I appreciate your comedy, and you make every day so much better. Some of the things you've said in your bits have really stuck with me and helped make life so much easier. With that being said, I've just been laid off, and I was just wondering what's the best advice to a 21-year-old that you have and that you wish you knew at my age about jobs and how to follow your dreams. Thanks for all your help. Sending all my love.
Well, shit. Thanks, Miranda. I'll throw it to Monroe, but I just want to say first thing, don't drive yourself crazy. Don't beat yourself up because the world will do that already.
Yeah.
And also just like, you're so fucking young. Just like enjoy, give yourselves time to enjoy yourself because it's the best time to do it. And, you know, take your time. The world is far from over.
Yeah.
So go ahead, sir.
Yeah. So the comedian in me want to say OnlyFans. The comedian in me is like, oh, we'll start an OnlyFans.
Dude.
But also, you're right. Yo, OnlyFans, I don't
How
have
many
the
comics
account or nothing.
There's
but,
so
oh my
many
God.
comics on OnlyFans. It is wild.
Who knew that people, like the same people who have this integrity of like, nah, we fucking tell jokes. Now they're like, yeah, I'll let you jerk off to my feet.
Yeah.
I'm
Like
fine,
I won't be on TikTok, but here's my asshole or whatever it is.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
like,
no, it's fucking crazy.
And look,
and then like,
I'm not
Yeah.
judging. You know,
Yeah.
like we all have to make money, and I think sex work should be totally legal, but it is crazy. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're exactly right.
but it definitely lets you know that we personally have limits. Like I'm like,
Sure.
as a kind, like, because it's out there and you're like, fuck, the world is falling apart. We got wives, you got kids, and you're like, will I show my asshole on OnlyFans? And you like, nah, fuck it, let me keep doing this podcast.
Yeah, yeah, dude.
but-
and I've done like I did a douche commercial like 15 years ago. I mean, I was on every kind of commercial. I probably would have done like a commercial for Smith and Wesson or like Winston cigarettes. Like back then, I was like, fuck it, I don't care. I don't really do those anything like that anymore. So it's kind of like, I get it, but it is funny when you're 21. You're kind of like, give a shit, you know, like just get me
you can
out of
bounce
McDonald's.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want to
say
take
she's 21. Yeah, no, sorry. You was talking.
No. You said the comedian side of you is OnlyFans. The other side of you would say.
But I would say like she's young, work a shitty job for a little bit. Like if you're like, if you really need money, if it's like, if you need money for like fun shit, or you need money to like make ends meet, then I'm like, work a shitty job until you don't have to anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Or like, we don't know what her level of expertise is, right? Like, I don't know what she went to college for and stuff like that. But like, figure out, like right now is the time to like really use social media to like as a tool, right? So let's say she's young. I don't know, maybe she can dance. Maybe she's really good at knitting or something, but put that shit out there. Make a YouTube channel. Fucking put time into that. That'll help you make some money in the long run.
Yeah,
like,
I think that's a good point. Put your talents out there and you know, in all these platforms we have available to us. But at the same time, make ends meet and don't feel any shame about working a shitty job. I mean, dude, I was livid when that Cosby Show actor got outed for working at Trader Joe's. I was like, the fuck, it's a job.
Oh man, same.
Dude, I've never looked at someone at Trader Joe's. I mean, I've never been like, Arby's, look at this loser, you know, because but for the grace of God, go me. But I've never been at Trader Joe's, especially. I'm like, this seems like a cool place to work. This looks like a place where like you can be 45
you get a cool
and still
ass
get
Hawaiian shirt.
Hawaiian shirt. It's not, crowded. You just move stuff out and everything. It doesn't have the claustrophobia of a regular supermarket. It's a cool supermarket, you know? I thought that was so shitty.
You don't even got to help people. Like I have never been to Trader Joe's and got help. You know what I mean? Like they're just there and they bag your groceries. No one has ever been like, you need help finding something. They were like, yeah, it's around. So like it's the perfect job to have. But
that's perfect. Yes. Go to Trader Joe's, get a job there. Because it does seem like they're all your friend who won't help you move. Your friend who won't who won't loan you any money. Your friend, they're just like, you're like, hey, can you tell me where? And they're like, nah, man, I can't. But how's your day going? You're like, no, I need you to tell me where the raw almonds are. They're like,
Yeah.
man, if I knew.
They're like, man.
Hey, you see
I
that
have no
Steelers
idea."
game? They just talk about anything that's non-essential.
Absolutely.
You
Look, Trader Joe's is great. I hope you get like free food if you work at Trader Joe's.
Probably.
You can get that mac and cheese, that
Mhm.
microwavable mac and cheese, or the
Yeah.
tikka masala. Come
Hell
on,
yeah.
man.
Hell yeah. So
How
good.
you gonna shame somebody out of that?
Dude, if I had Trader Joe's when I was 21, I would be chilling so much harder than I was at the time.
No,
Like
I
when I was
wouldn't be shit. Yeah. You wouldn't be shit. Like if some of these entry level jobs are so cool now. We're growing up. Like I don't
Yep.
know what type of jobs you had, but here's the jobs I had. I worked at the Philadelphia Zoo.
Okay.
I worked at Planned Parenthood.
All right.
I worked at like Planned Parenthood as a peer educator through like a foster care program.
Okay.
I worked as a security guard for the for the Philadelphia Marathon, where I just had to sit at the Philadelphia Art Museum near the Rocky Steps at like 3 in the morning for no reason. No one's up at 3 in the morning in Philly. What else? I did like an entry level job at like a law firm. I worked at a sneaker store. I had so many. I worked at McDonald's. All those jobs kept pushing me to be like, nah, man, get the fuck out of here, be better. But if Trader Joe's was around, I wouldn't be here. I would still be in Trader Joe's.
I bet the culture is so chill. Yeah, I mean, I worked like ice cream parlor, deli. I had to clean up an apartment building all throughout a summer. Wait tables, stuff like that. But like all things that like after like a year or two, you're like, I gotta get out of here. I feel like I'm dying. I feel like Trader Joe's probably has this kind of familial culture that is just like, you'll just graduate to management, and then you go and you work an executive job, and you get free popcorn and cannabis. It's cool, man. Come in when you want. It's cool.
Yo, yeah. They let Trader Joe's seems like they let you smoke weed on your break, right? Like they let you smoke weed on your break. You can eat inventory if you want.
Sure.
Right.
Just
you
in
can
the back.
Snack on that beautiful popcorn they have. Yeah.
Got to do it in the back.
You wear shorts at Trader Joe's.
Shorts. Free bottle of wine when you leave. Just take it. Take it, man. We're making so much money.
Trader Joe's is awesome.
It is. Yeah, go. Follow your dreams, do stuff on YouTube, but work at Trader Joe's.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we got time. We got one more call. You ready for the last one?
Yes, let's do it.
All right, roll it.
Hey, Matt. So my name is Hiya. I have a question. My dad's birthday is in December, and my mom wants to get me and my sister and my brother and his wife together for my dad's 50th birthday. Now, the problem with that is my brother's in the Air Force. He's coming in from out of town with his wife, specifically for my dad's birthday.
Oh, I see.
We do not have a good relationship, my parents and I, mostly my mother. She's an alcoholic. She's trying to, says she is, get help or whatever, but every time she gets intoxicated, she likes to send really hateful messages to me and my sister about, she will never have her respect and this kind of stuff. We don't do enough for her and all of that. She was a single mother for a while. When I was 10, she ended up getting back with my dad. I'm 25 now. So they've been together 15 years at this point. And I don't know if it's worth it to try and go or not. My sister's already said she's not going to go. She just refuses to have anything to do with my mom after this. But my brother is going to be there, and I love my brother. He's like my best friend. So I don't know if it'll be worth it to try and go, or if I should just stay home, or if I just bail at some point during the party because she wants to be retarded. Or not, excuse that. She wants to be wild if I can just, if it'll make me a bad person for just leaving in the middle of his birthday because she's being wild. Does that make me a bad person? Should I still go? Should I try and persuade my sister to go? I don't know. I just want to see my brother, mainly. My dad's okay. It's mostly my mom that sucks shit. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.
Shit. First off, thanks for calling. I appreciate you sharing so much. Secondly, look, you spoke from the heart. You said a word that's a little rough. I'm not going to judge you. Don't worry about it. I would rather just anyone listening, if you call and you slip up and you say some shit, I'm not going to jump all over you, because it's just, obviously that person has nothing against, people who are, challenged, let's just say. But I want to just shut the fuck up and throw this right to you, Monroe.
So could you hear me go, look, as a person who all right, so I feel like one of the major problems that people run in with families, they feel like they are obligated to deal with family all the time. They're family. But you're like, the only connection is your blood. You don't have to be friends with your family. I feel like you are allowed to cut people out of your life. It's your life. Like, stop forcing a relationship with people who aren't on your side, who don't want the best for you. And that's sad that person has to be your mom, but you love your brother. And if it's his birthday, set up another event for just you and him and his wife, and y'all hang out. But you don't have to put yourself in an uncomfortable situation to please somebody else, because all you're going to do is just make the situation worse, because now that tension is there, that energy is there. Your brother has to deal with that because he's not blind to it. He knows that your mom is an alcoholic. He knows that your mom is an asshole. I'm not calling your mom an asshole. You said she's an asshole.
She sounds like an asshole.
But if y'all both have that understanding that that your mom is fucked up, so why are you obligated to be around her to celebrate somebody else's birthday? So I say, don't go. Make plans with your brother. Let your mom live her life. She chose that life. She knows the repercussions of the life she has. In the long run, she's not going to have you in her life. She's not going to have an awesome kid to share stories with, because she puts him away being an asshole. But also, so she texts drunk and it's legible. You can read it. It makes sense. You know what I mean? Because I'm like, hold up. Your mom gets fucked up and then sends text messages that are grammatically correct. You can fucking just read it perfectly. Was she drinking wine? What type of drunk is this?
That's impressive. That's funny.
I'm like, hold on.
Wait to be a comedian. Find the thing. I didn't even see that one. I didn't even see that joke.
I'm like, hold on. He's like, she gets fucked up and sends the text message as well. Your mom dexterity is on point.
You are indubitably a terrible daughter. Big words. Wait.
How drunk are you?
You used a semicolon perfectly. That's impressive. Yeah, that's funny. I mean, it's funny, man. I don't have anyone like that in my life that I'm related to. I've been lucky that way, but anyone I know who has had a similar situation has said just what you just said. Even I had Ira Madison third on, and someone called in and said their father, who was abusive emotionally their whole life, is dying, and everyone says, she's like, everyone says I have to go visit him and say goodbye. And I just threw it right to Ira, and he said, if I found out my father was dying, I would pour myself a drink and watch a movie. It was just like, because you don't have to be a martyr. You said it yourself. Maybe it sounds sad, but there's no reason if someone has been killing you so much to kill yourself to save things. I think we overblow the sanctity of the parent. We overblow it. We think mother is God. We think this is someone who always knows best, and it's just a human person. I mean, there are chemicals inside a parent who, when people are like, what's it like being a father? I can't even explain why I like my kids so much. And it's not like I know, but I won't tell you. I don't know. I don't get why I think
Yeah.
this thing is so amazing,
Mhm.
but it is. But you know, at the same time, if I fell prey to my worst vices, that would turn
Mhm.
everything against it.
Yeah.
And you know, the only thing I'll say is like, you know, to add to that, this person does not have to, you know, I think you nailed it. Meet up with the brother and his wife,
Yeah.
tell the mom, you know, in maybe politer terms, fuck off. But
Yeah.
it's you know, there's a reason why, and I you know, I think AA is for some people and it's not for other people, but there's a reason why one of the 12 steps is make amends, because you damage other people when you're damaging people, like when you're damaging yourself that way.
Absolutely.
And she's texting this hurtful shit and not even thinking about it. And it's like, hey, man, anytime I've sent a drunk text, and mine have usually probably been like, I just think you're
Yeah.
cool or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
like dumb.
Yeah.
It's never been mean.
Yeah.
I've never sent an angry text drunk that I can remember.
Yeah. Same.
But
Yeah.
but I woke up and been like, ugh, why? You know, like
Yeah.
why? Ugh, why did I send that? You know, I can't imagine
Yeah.
sending something damaging and being like,
Yeah.
and not
Especially
calling
to
them
your
and go,
fucking
your
kid,
daughter.
yo.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I you know, yeah, it's
Yeah.
this person seems incapable of self-awareness, and that's not your problem. You know,
It's not, you don't have to deal with that, man. You don't have to deal with that. You don't have to put yourself through that. You have people that love you, and just focus on them. Like, life's too long. Everybody goes, life's too short. Life's too long to
Yeah.
give yourself to people who don't deserve it. And you just
Yeah.
gotta be willing to move on. Like, I went through the same thing. My family don't fuck with each other. Like, my sisters fuck with me. They don't fuck with each other. My mom fucks with me. They don't fuck with each other. But I tried to be the peacemaker, but then I realized I just have to have individual relationships with them and be fine with that.
Yes.
Because that's the relationship. And by me trying to play God, now I'm trying to control the situation, which is just going to make it worse.
Mhm.
And it's like,
Yeah.
you're young, let your mom, because the more you go around your mom, you give her that energy, you enable her, you surround her with people she can be mean to. When somebody's an asshole, and then everybody is kind of just like, well, you deal with that, now they have to deal with it. But when with you being around, you allow them to not deal with it.
Yeah,
right.
Exactly. And some people you can't win. You're never.
Fuck it.
Not that it's like me versus this or this versus that, but like you're never ever going to not, you know, have this person that is that you're never going to have like, sorry, this call came through twice. You're never going to not be exhausted. Like, it's exhausting to deal with someone like that in your life, where you're approaching them with logic and human emotions, and they're like, yeah, but what about me? But you did this. But you're like, you just want to damage. You know, it's like they say, hurt people hurt people. Like, if someone they won't deal with their own pain. They just like, look, I would rather, you know, it's like White Sox fans. White Sox fans would rather see the Cubs lose than the White Sox win. Which I think is back to our pettiness. I love it. I think it's hilarious. And that's a healthy way to be, I think. You know what I mean? That's not, but it's like, if you're like, I would rather see, I'm a failure, so I'd rather see this person fail than for me to succeed. You know, like, I want this person down in the pit with me. I want to keep yanking them down. It's like, it's just it's fucked up. So yeah, I mean, you nailed it right away.
Yeah.
You know, as much as
so good luck to that person.
Yeah, absolutely. So
but hopefully that person also doesn't have a what's it called, a savior complex, where they're like, I need to save her. It's like, no, you gotta get rid of that.
That's another good point. That's a great point as well. Like, don't have that thing where it's just like, only I can you know, fly in and save this.
We gotta let that shit go.
Don't do it. Don't do that, because you're doing the flip side of that, which is you're trying to make yourself feel better by fixing everything. And it's like, some things stay broke. It sucks. Yeah. But you just got to move on. That's all it is.
IKEA, homie.
Yeah. IKEA, go to IKEA, get a new one.
You got to, no, I'm saying those people are IKEA, because to me, IKEA shit is always broken. So I'm like, look, man, it's IKEA, baby.
Yeah, that
Are you
relationship
kidding?
is a chair you had in college. That's all that is.
Yep.
You just need to get rid of it. It's a first apartment couch. Leave it out. Leave it out in the rain.
Yep.
The junk man will come get it.
Yeah.
Well, shit. I hope you had a good time,
So,
man. It
dude,
was
I
really
had a
great
really
having
good
you on
time,
here.
man.
Cool.
I'm
Well,
glad. I'm glad you had me on, man. I'm glad you're doing good.
thanks, man. You too. You seem to be doing great. Is there anything you want to plug
Yeah.
that you got going on right now for people to check out?
Yeah, I have a podcast of my own called No Need for Apologies. It's me and my best friend Derek Gaines. That is on YouTube and also available on all platforms where you stream your podcast. And I have a set dropping December 1st with Comedy Central. It's a part of their like Comedy Central stand-up featuring. It's like their new thing. So it's like a little 10-minute set on their website and their YouTube page that drops December 1st. And yeah, just follow me on all the socials and stuff.
Cool. So yeah, everybody check out Monroe and follow him as he goes, because he's a such a funny dude, and I appreciate you bringing your insight on here. And it's been great vibing with you.
Man,
so
no, it's been fun, man. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you, buddy. Have a good one.
All right. You too.
Thanks for listening to this episode of This Might Help. If you need advice, you want to tell me something on your mind, something you think a comedian and some other dickhead that he's got on his show might help with, or at least make you laugh, give me a call. Leave a message. 323-763-0228. Again, that's 323-763-0228. And thanks. This Might Help with Matt Bronger was created and hosted by me, Matt Bronger. Produced by Outer Circle Media. Executive producers Matt Kleinschmidt and Robert Kelly for the Laugh Button Podcasts.